What do we got here? What do we got here? We got a little bit of success. We got zero success. Zero success. A little bit of a success, a couple World Series. We got no success, no success, no success, no success, and the Leafs, which is, the same thing as the Toronto Blue Jays with no success. The Toronto Blue Jays get swept by the Minnesota Twins in 2 games in the American League Wildcard Series. As a Toronto Blue Jays fan, I am currently fuming, but I did not expect anything less, actually, from the Toronto Blue Jays. But let's talk about it real quick. So, Game 1, 3-1 loss is obvious. Gosman wasn't on his game, let up 3 runs, which are the only 3 runs, which were 2 home runs by the same player. Lewis, I forget his first name, whatever. Good for him. I'm proud, good for him. Then, 3-1. So the Leafs score, or the Leafs, I'm so used to the Leafs losing in the playoffs that it's just in my mind. The Jays score 1 run in the entire series. Because in Game 2, which just happened, Toronto Blue Jays give up 2 runs to get swept by the Minnesota Twins, who, first off, haven't won a game in, let me preface this, 19 years. Was it 19 years or 9 years? I don't remember. They haven't won a game in so long that all of a sudden, the Jays have to choke. The Jays also haven't won a playoff game in so long. It's been since 2016. Actually, specifically, Game 4 of the ALCS in 2016 against the Cleveland Indians. Back when they were called the Cleveland Indians. It's been that long since the Jays have won. Now, there's a couple stats I want to talk about. The series batting average for the Jays, like 220 something. Horrible. Could not swing the bats, and when they do, they were missing or they were hitting it right to them. Like, it was horrible. All series, they got 1 extra base hit and 1 run. They out-hit the Twins in both games. They could not score. Now, I want to talk about specifically Game 2. Game 1, everyone was kind of off their game. Nobody really hit anything. Pitchers, Gosman didn't throw his best stuff. Okay, the bullpen was great. I want to start out with the greats. The bullpen was great. Barrios was great, which is what is going to lead me into this absolute piss-poor decision by the Toronto Blue Jays coaching staff, management, whatever. Jose Barrios gets taken out in the 4th inning after letting up 3 hits, no runs, and 5 strike, and striking out 5 batters. Oh, by the way, before he got pulled, he walked somebody. I don't know in whose right mind, plan or not, to take someone who is by far throwing one of the best games of his career and one of the most important games of his career and say, meh, yeah, you're fine. And by the way, throwing in a guy who hasn't pitched in the bullpen since last year and throwing him in with a runner on base. Plan, no plan. Apparently it was a plan, and I think that was widespread that he was getting pulled in like the 4th. Anyone who's ever played any sports has learned plans never work. They never land. They never pan out. You have something severe. So Barrios throwing an amazing game. He was apparently he was en route to throwing a full, complete shutout. But analytics said no, take him out. The second time up in the order. They're going to get the lefties, the 2 back-to-back lefties are going to get a hold of him. He was only touched 3 times. The Blue Jays would have, I'm saying this right now, the Blue Jays would have won if the coaching staff and John Snyder, who, by the way, pretty much has the final say in everything, decides to take him out. I know everyone's like, oh, it's not John Snyder, it's John Snyder, but it's not just him. He's the one who's like has the final say in it. He's the one who goes out and takes him out. So I don't know where this whole, oh, it's not John Snyder, it's the entire coaching staff, comes from. Yeah, they came up with a plan. John Snyder has to snap and realize it's not going to work. The statistics say this, the statistics say that. Statistics mean nothing when it comes to pressure, when it comes to this, when it comes to that. People can have a George Springer. Pretty much every postseason before joining the Blue Jays, he has his moment. I've yet to see him have a moment with the Toronto Blue Jays. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. was supposed to have 4,000 home runs this year. Didn't hit it. What now? Here's where it goes. What now? What now? What now with the Blue Jays? All of a sudden, they're gone. What now? Ross Atkins goes. John Schneider goes. The hitting coach goes. Guillermo Martinez, get rid of him. He has been horrible. Honestly, I can see Pete Walker going. You pretty much restart with a new entire staff. Maybe keep Mattingly. But even then, am I going to sit here and say that was the worst performance I've ever seen for the Blue Jays? No, it wasn't the worst. Am I going to sit here and say they should definitely make some off-season trades, off-season signings? Absolutely. Kevin Kiermaier needs to come back. I think Brendan Belt needs to come back. A bunch of these guys need to come back. Ross Atkins doesn't need to come back. John Schneider needs to be let go. Bring back somebody with experience. Bring back somebody who knows what he's doing. Bring back somebody who doesn't look at analytics all the time. Analytics says so much, but it means nothing in the grand scheme of things. You look at analytics, you look at Kyle Schwarber. He's batting not even 200 and he's still in the top lineup because he still hits tanks. The only analytics you should look at is what is happening in the moment. If Brios gave up 5 runs, that's when you take him out. If Brios doesn't give up anything, it gives up 3 hits and all of a sudden you take him out, what's wrong with you? The Toronto Blue Jays need to take a step back, sit there and say, what can we do? What will we do? What do we have the balls to do? Right now, they got none. Anyways, I want to leave you with this. Toronto Blue Jays, do better. Anyways, I'm going for a new team this year. I think you guys are going to like this. I think they have a real big chance of winning the World Series. 2024, my next team that I'll be drafting to is the, please, Oakland Athletics. Honestly, they have a better chance than the Jays.